Now, Manny has a lot of experience, at the highest level and competing at the highest level, and that makes this that much more interesting. But like I said before, there's no blueprint on how to beat Floyd Mayweather, and he can tell you that himself. It's gonna have to take the whole room together. You're gonna have to put the whole world in the ring to beat me. I'm the best.
He's always claiming that he's a greatest of all time. My question is like this: in which part that he can claim that he's the only one? Diba? He's the only one.
Why?
He cannot claim that he's the only undefeated fighter, which is maraming nag-retire na undefeated, more than 15.
I don't think Floyd will ever be a stationary target. I think Manny knows that. I don't think Floyd by any means is an easy fighter, or an easy opponent. Don't expect Floyd to be a stationary target. That's not Floyd. Floyd is Floyd. I mean, there's a reason why he's nicknamed the greatest of all time. There's a reason why he's the GOAT. There's a reason why he's 50-0.
Floyd Mayweather isn't holding back. In a heated live interview, he fires back at Manny Pacquiao, reminding him that he already knows what his power feels like from their first fight, and making one thing crystal clear: nobody beats Floyd Mayweather.
That makes this that much more interesting. But like I said before, there's no blueprint on how to beat Floyd Mayweather, and he can tell you that himself. You're gonna have to take the whole room together. You're gonna have to put the whole world in the ring to beat me. I'm the best.
But Manny Pacquiao isn't backing down either. He fires right back, pointing out that Mayweather is older and that his 8 world titles across 8 different weight divisions speak louder than any claim to greatness, insisting that when it's all said and done, he is the better fighter.
He's older than me. I'm still young, so and I'm always active with this sport. So what I have done and accomplished in boxing, I think it's one of a kind, because to get 8 different weight division is not that easy. So that's a prestigious accomplishment in boxing, and I'm not trying to boast what I have accomplished in life, but I'm just saying this to repeat. You might forget that accomplishment.
And when it comes to age, Manny Pacquiao isn't worried one bit. He says the fire is still burning inside him. The power is still there, and he feels every bit young enough to go to war at the highest level.
Strongly.
Oh yeah, I learned a lot on that fight. Way back 2015, I think we become mature right now, and how to handle it, and I hope that it will not happen again, the way it is last 2015. It's the experience is not really 100%, but I'm hoping for this time around no more excuses, especially to my condition, and also for everything. I'm so excited and ready to the fight. Although before he wants an exhibition with me, but I disagree, and I want to fight with exhibition with him. I want to fight a real fight like this. So.
Meanwhile, in Manny Pacquiao's corner, his trainer is putting Floyd's legendary 50-0 record into perspective. He argues it means very little at this point. Floyd hasn't stepped into a real fight in years. Manny, on the other hand, just came out of a world title fight against Mario Barrios. The contrast couldn't be more clear.
Mayweather's 50-0, very talented.
He's not 50-0. He was, when he stopped out of boxing, he was 48, 47.
Well, Bruno and McGregor and Bruno was the last
McGregor
two.
didn't count. Then he fought the Thai guy. Some guy had no fights.
No.
That doesn't count.
That wasn't part of the 50.
What's part of the 50?
McGregor's
not a boxer.
He went 10 rounds.
If they did MMA, but Floyd carried him.
By the way, counterpicked Mayweather to beat Manny in a rematch.
Never happened.
That's what he said.
Yeah. Never happened. Conor like that. It's not MMA. Conor's not a boxer. He's the MMA guy. If the roles were reversed, Floyd gets destroyed in about 40 seconds. Conor just takes him down.
But Mike Tyson gave Conor credit that he said he went 10 rounds with the pound 0-0. Like, I wasn't.
Floyd carried.
Analyst Wade Clemens takes a step back and looks at the bigger picture. Both men are undeniable legends. Both have accomplished everything the sport has to offer. But in his view, a rematch at this stage of their careers isn't something boxing truly needs.
Mayweather and Pacquiao, the biggest fight that's ever happened in combat sports. It wasn't at their best. We'll talk about how I think this version's going to go. But what was it? 4.2 million pay-per-view buys. The biggest fight we thought we'd ever see. And it may still be that, but this is going to do numbers as well, no doubt about it. But the reason this fight is at least more interesting to me now than either of their exhibitions. And yeah, I'm throwing away how the first fight went and that they were past their prime in that one, and that I may be getting the wool pulled over my eyes for what we actually might see. But let's be honest, though. Floyd's 49, Manny's 47. We know what we're going to get. They're not going to be in their prime. We don't expect them to be in their primes. But Manny Pacquiao just came off a world title fight where I thought he beat Mario Barrios. I thought he beat him. Now, granted, it was a draw, and we just saw Mario Barrios get absolutely skunked by Ryan Garcia. It's showing us that, one, like I've said, Mario Barrios is one of the worst world champions in boxing, or he was.
Tim Bradley sees a bigger wave coming. With Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao lacing up their gloves again, he believes the massive paydays on the table could start pulling other retired legends back out of their comfort zones and straight back into the ring.
Manny Pacquiao Mayweather about to go back at it in September. So a lot of guys coming out of retirement getting that Netflix money. Netflix is willing to pay for content, man, especially if you're popular. You know, they did Jake Paul. Jake Paul opened his damn door. Gotta give it up for him. He opened his door. And Mike Tyson. They've done other events as well. You know, Katie Taylor and Serrano as well. However, I was thinking De La Hoya was next. De La Hoya, you coming out of retirement? Clap back Thursdays. Nah, bring your ass out of retirement, big dog. For real. You and Tito. Tito to the dad. Tito to the dad. Yeah.
The CEO of Manny Pacquiao Promotions isn't entertaining any doubts. He shuts down every critic with confidence. Both fighters know exactly what they're worth. Netflix has put serious money on the table, and with both men in peak condition, this rematch is not only justified, it was inevitable.
I can't share the exact number, but let's just say if you know what they're worth, and they know what they're worth, and they know the numbers they've done before. So if the numbers didn't make sense for either of them, they wouldn't have signed on the dotted line, and we wouldn't be where we are today.
Okay, I'll ask one more. Over or under 50 million each?
Over.
Okay, that's a good benchmark to work with.
Yeah.
The first fight was billed as the fight of the century, but it failed to live up to the massive expectations, right? Fans were left with a bad taste on. After the fight, Manny said he had a shoulder injury. There were some lawsuits involved. How can this fight be different 11 years later?
You know, it's very hard to explain this, but these guys are in better condition.
Luke Thomas makes a point that changes everything about this fight. This isn't an exhibition. This is official. This goes on the record. Floyd Mayweather, who walked away from boxing with a perfect 50-0, is now putting that legacy on the line. He could leave at 51-0, or for the first time in his career, he could taste defeat.
Will go on their record. Floyd currently has a record of 50-0. Remember, he retired at 50-0. It is possible he could go either 51-0 or now 50-1, or if it was a draw or whatever. But he's at least putting it up to be part of the professional record. Now, you might say, well, hasn't he been doing a lot of exhibitions since his retirement from boxing? And the answer is yes, about 8 of them or so. I believe he's got, by the way, a 9th coming up in April in the Democratic Republic of the Congo against, of all people, Mike Tyson. Also, just as a fresh reminder, the first fight, I didn't hate it, but a lot of people did. And remember, you'll recall Manny Pacquiao, after the fight was over, blamed his performance on his shoulder. But there was pretty widespread disappointment with just how big the fight was and then how little it delivered. Not necessarily to hardcore fans, although some of that too, but definitely to casual fans who were expecting a little bit more rock'em sock'em.
Luke Thomas also takes us back to 2015 and the bitter aftertaste that fight left behind. The hype was historic, but the performance fell short. Manny blamed a shoulder injury. Casual fans felt robbed, and the so-called fight of the century became one of boxing's greatest disappointments.
And then after the fight, Floyd had said explicitly, I'm not really going to do, I need to know what my limits are here. I'm not really going to go back to doing professional stuff, because during that week he was like, oh, I'd fight McGregor again and blah, blah, blah. He kept doing the exhibition thing. Well, now he's going back to the professional side. So let's talk about it. Why is this fight happening? I actually feel like the explanation is basically threefold, with some of that being really kind of sad, but some of it being something we should think about. Reason number one, both of these guys are broke. I mean, the reporting on Floyd recently has been pretty unambiguous. He is in a lot of debt. And despite the fact that he made over $1 billion during the course of his career, and by the way, did that without sponsors, by and large, without sponsors, is a remarkable achievement. I don't know what he's done with his money, but he doesn't have much more of it.
At 47 years old, Manny Pacquiao's last outing against Mario Barrios ended in a controversial draw. The same Mario Barrios who was later dominated by Ryan Garcia. That raises real questions about where Manny's level truly stands today. And on the other side, Floyd has been doing exhibitions, always looking sharp, but exhibition sharp and fight sharp are two very different things. Nobody knows for certain what either man has left. And that's exactly what makes this so compelling.
You come back and fight Tito, we always been wanting to see that damn rematch with you and Tito. Ooh. Yeah, Tito got Puerto Rico on lock. Imagine Tito Trinidad coming back and your old ass Oscar De La Hoya that still got that damn left hook. Yeah, man. Hey, they paying for content, and I'm talking about gravy. Big money. Big money. Hey, yeah, more money you ever made in one night in your career. Oscar De La Hoya. Anyways, Tim Desert Storm Bradley. Shit, what else fights we can think of? You already know the rest, and I'm out.
Tim Bradley knows exactly why these fights capture the world attention. It's not just nostalgia. It's the money. It's the star power. It's the feeling that you're witnessing something rare. These paydays dwarf anything most fighters see in their entire careers. And for legends like Oscar De La Hoya and Tito Trinidad, one night could be worth more than everything they ever earned combined. That kind of opportunity is almost impossible to walk away from.
Shine. Floyd fighting his dad, Floyd doing this, Floyd doing that. It was genius. And I fell in love with Floyd. I thought Floyd was just incredible. And then again, he got in the ring and it was fantastic. But that was then. This is now. Like, when's it going to stop? When are we going to stop rolling out these old timers? And Floyd is an old timer, people. I think he's going to be 49 by the time this fight rolls around. When are we going to stop wheeling them out? Like, let it go. Let the youngsters come through and let them take the shine. Like, it's just getting, honestly, it's getting crazy. And I say all this, I will watch it. Of course I will watch it because I'm a big Floyd fan and a big Manny Pacquiao fan. But, like, the youngsters need their time to shine now. And we've got a good group of youngsters. I was in Vegas to watch Ryan Garcia. I looked around the ring. I saw Shakur Stevenson. I saw Keyshawn Davis. I saw Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez. Like, we've got a good bunch. Let them have their shine.
Victor Oladipo has watched boxing evolve, and he has some complicated feelings about what he's seeing. He'll be the first to admit, watching Floyd Mayweather in his prime was pure genius. Every movement, every calculation, every moment in the ring was a masterclass. But that was then. And Oladipo can't help but ask the question that a lot of fans are quietly thinking. When does it stop? When do we step aside and let the next generation have their moment?
Icons. Don't need to see this anymore. Honestly, I really don't. Manny Pacquiao is in great shape, right? We saw him against Mario Barrios. He could have been a world champion. We haven't seen Floyd for a while. Obviously, he's been doing these exhibitions. He always looks in shape, but I guess there's in shape, and who am I to say this to Floyd? There's fight in shape. I don't know if this fight's going to be a 6-rounder, an 8-rounder, a 10-rounder. I don't know what size gloves they're using. I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't know, people. I don't know. It is what it is. Look, maybe I'm putting too much stock into it. Let them just have their fight. Again, I do want to know what's going to happen with Provodnikov, Pacquiao. I'm guessing that probably is cancelled. Like, if you're Pacquiao, why on earth would you fight Provodnikov when you've got the Mayweather check waiting for you? And if you're Mayweather, same thing. Why would you fight Mike Tyson in the Congo when you got the Pacquiao check waiting for you?
Oladipo has nothing but love and respect for both Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Their greatness is undeniable. But his message is clear. boxing's future doesn't belong to past. With rising stars like Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, and Devin Haney ready to carry the torch, the sport needs to make room. The legends have had their shine. Now it's time to pass it on.
And that was the last time that we've seen Floyd Mayweather in the ring. Now, for the out-of-the-ring stuff, the stuff that kind of gives us a bit more of an indication as to what the hell has been going on with Floyd Mayweather. Why somebody who retired at 50-0, having beaten many of the greatest fighters of his era, has felt the need to continue competing in these gimmicky exhibition bouts. And especially given the fact that I think Floyd Mayweather made close to $1 billion in his career. I mean, his career earnings are absolutely insane. His activities since then almost feel kind of demeaning to his legacy, I suppose you could say. Well, I can tell you that I did a little digging, and actually there are a number of lawsuits that are currently active against Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s name, and they're worth a significant amount of money. From controversies around endorsing certain cryptocurrencies, to millions of dollars worth of unpaid luxury items.
Boxing analyst Henry shifts the focus from the ring to the real world, and what he finds paint a complicated picture of Floyd Mayweather's life after boxing. Despite retiring undefeated and earning close to $1 billion throughout his career, Mayweather has kept coming back for exhibition after exhibition. And Henry believes the reasons behind that go far deeper than a love of the sport.
Alleged, and these are all the cases that currently exist against him. There's no record of some kind of settlement, and as far as I know, a lot of these are ongoing. To add to that, Mayweather even lodged his own case against Showtime, and he did that this year, reportedly seeking damages of $340 million. And the allegation there is apparently there's been a misappropriation of his fight earnings. Interesting that he's waited until 2026 to lodge this kind of legal case. Now look, at the very least, we know there are allegations out there that he hasn't been paying for a lot of the things that he needs to live his lavish lifestyle. Now let's suppose that they're true. Why would one not pay for the things that they've been purchasing? Well, usually it's because you don't have the money, but you want to sustain your high net earning individual high wealth lifestyle. And so Mayweather lodging that legal case, it does sort of make you think with the timing of it, perhaps he expects to owe quite a bit of money.
Henry digs even deeper, and what he uncovers is striking. Floyd Mayweather is currently facing multiple lawsuits, unpaid luxury items, disputed apartment rent, and controversial cryptocurrency endorsements, with millions of dollars on the line. And in 2026, Mayweather himself went on the offensive, filing a $340 million lawsuit against Showtime, alleging his fight earnings were misappropriated. The timing is hard to ignore. For a man who was once the face of wealth and success, the picture outside the ring tells a very different story, and it may explain everything